On today's episode of the Luke Loses podcast, Start the Day Off Right, I found a list of things that we can implement that can help us be more prepared for our day. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, losers? I am Luke, and this is Luke Loses. Being a loser, that's a good thing because we're losing the weight, we're losing the unhealthy lifestyle, and we're losing that negative image we have for ourselves. Please remember that I have no fitness or nutrition education. Everything I talk about is from asking questions, searching the internet, and my own personal experiences. Don't forget to check out my website. It is www.lukelosespodcast.com. That's got my social media links as well as other places where you can listen to this podcast. You can leave me a message there or call the loser line, which is 323-920-LUKE or 5853. Shoot me a message, send me a text, leave me a voicemail, and I will try to address it in a future episode. Now, with that being said, let's just jump right into today's topic. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Luke Loses podcast. If you are new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. I appreciate y'all being here. I'd like to apologize for not having an episode out on Monday. I was just super busy. We had a family reunion last weekend, and I just didn't make the time to sit down and record anything. So I'm sorry, but here's the episode today. If you did miss my last episode, it was 18 Changes with Ryan Yarbrough. It was an awesome episode. I talked to a friend of mine who he's in the process of losing weight. I believe he was 470 at his heaviest, and he's lost a ton of weight. And we talked about 18 things that he has done to change the way he's living his life. If you haven't checked that out, go back, listen to that, and let me know what you think. As for today's episode, it is called Start the Day Right. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do every day getting up and how I prepare myself for today. And I wanted to do this topic because I am far off from starting it off correctly. I have so many days where I'm just, man, I wish I had 5 extra minutes to just scream. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I looked up a lot of different things that talks about what you could do to help with your overall day. So as for my day, what I do when I wake up is I set like 15 alarms because I'm such a heavy sleeper. I have to have a lot to wake me up. I try not to jump right up. I try to just lay there. Don't look at my phone for like 5 minutes. Just relax and actually give myself time to open my eyes and be aware that it's time to get up for the day. I do want to point out that I am typically a morning person, right? So I'd rather go to bed at 8 p.m. and wake up at like 5 a.m. It's peaceful. That's just what I like to do. So yeah, that's what I do. I wake up, I lay there, I wait a few minutes to let my body realize that it's time to wake up. Of course, I use the restroom and I try to find a spot where I can be alone and it's quiet enough for me to meditate for 3 to 5 minutes. After my meditation, I shower. Even if I showered the night before, I like to take a hot shower in the morning to help me get up. I'll then eat a breakfast of up to 500 calories. So usually it's something with eggs. I like eggs, so scrambled eggs or an egg breakfast wrap. Sometimes I throw sausage in there. And then if I've got time, I like to tidy up a little bit, whether it's a couple of the dishes or just straightening up the house a little bit. And then I start my day. My day is ready to officially begin as I see it. Now, doing this research for this episode, I looked up so many different things. And the one thing that kept reoccurring was sleep. How important sleep is. Everyone knows sleep is important. Me, I absolutely hate sleeping. I mean, I do it a lot, but I hate it. I think it's a waste of time. It drives me crazy. There's so much more things that we could be doing if we didn't have to sleep. Sleeping is important. And as for how much sleep you need, from what I've read, it says preschool children up to 5 years, 10 to 13 hours of sleep. School-age children 6 to 13, up to 11 hours. Teenagers 2 to 17, up to 10 hours. And then young adults all the way up to older adults, they recommend anywhere from 7 to 9 hours. So I wondered, what are all the things that could happen to you if you don't get enough sleep? I mean, I know like drowsiness and all that, alertness, but I wanted to look up and see what the documented side effects of lack of sleep is. First one on the list is lack of alertness. Even missing as little as an hour and a half can impact how you feel. And I've noticed that, where some days I feel amazing, other days I just feel off and I can never pinpoint it. But then I try to think, what did I do different today? And if I got 2 hours less of sleep that I normally get, for me, that's usually the case. Another thing is excessive daytime sleepiness. And this is one thing I absolutely hate, where I just fight to keep my eyes open. It can make you very sleepy if you don't get enough sleep, obviously, right? But if I don't get enough sleep, usually by 11 o'clock, I'm ready to nap. And when I do nap, it's like a second sleep. Sometimes it's 3 hours I'll be napping, and it drives me crazy, because going back to me hating sleep, that's 3 hours during the daytime hours that I could be doing something. It can affect how you are in your relationship, not just a relationship with your spouse, but with your kids, your coworkers, friends, family. Lack of sleep can obviously make you moody and become more likely to have conflicts with others. Impaired memory, where lack of sleep can affect your ability to think, remember, and process information, or your quality of life. You may not want to participate in activities, or be lazy, right? I notice when I don't get enough sleep, I am too tired for the gym, or I'm too tired to mow the lawn, or do laundry or dishes, so on and so forth. Well, that's the excuse I make. I'm just too tired. One term that kept popping up with the sleep is treating getting enough sleep as important as taking your medication. Keep it on a schedule like you do your medicine. And with that schedule, have a consistent wake-up time. Also, if you wake up in the middle of the night, don't look at your clock. Don't look at what time it is. That's going to be horrible for you. It says that the minute you look at the time, it's not just looking at one number. You start your mental calculations and think, if I go to bed now, I'll get this much sleep. And it just makes things worse for you. So I don't want to do this whole episode on sleeping, right? It's about starting your day. But I feel like I'm going to be talking a lot about sleep. So on the other end of the spectrum of not enough sleep, there's too much sleep, right? And I read Dr. Robert Rosenberg. He says that too much sleep on a regular basis can increase the risk of diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and death, according to several studies done over the years. And they say too much sleep is much longer after 9, right? So they say 9 hours is like the max you should be sleeping as an adult. Another thing that I have wrote down in my notes, I wanted to mention this earlier, but I forgot about it. And I've talked about it on a previous episode, is making my bed. When I make the bed, I do feel a sense of accomplishment. And I heard today, I was listening to a podcast on motivational speeches. And the guy that I was listening to, he is a coach, and he coaches people on how to do better and live their life to the fullest. A lot of his clients were talking about making the bed, and he asked him, why does that make you feel so good? Why do you choose to do that and be positive about it? And they said it's a sense of an accomplishment, and they start their day off with a win. And I really liked that. When you make your bed, you do get that accomplishment of doing something. It is a win, right? So start your day off with an easy victory by making your bed every day. And that's going to help you throughout the day to have a positive mindset. I think that's how I look at it. To start your day off right, sleep. Got to have sleep. Number 2 is have a plan. Set a plan for the day. Think of the big picture, the small picture, everything involved, and create a plan on how to go about your day. And I've been implementing that, not just for the mornings, but like I've talked about before, the grocery store. That's a high anxiety spot for me. So if I know I'm going grocery shopping, I try to make a plan. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I got to go. Just get it done. Right? And that usually helps. And with that plan, make sure you're realistic. Right? Try to be realistic in making your daily plan. One of my big issues is, I know I've talked about it before on an episode, but we went to Virginia Beach, our first big family vacation. And I made a plan. And we were doing this and this and this and this. 4 things throughout the day. Well, instead of doing that first thing on the list, my family wanted to do the 3rd thing on the list first. And to me, that ruined my day. Anxiety took over. My whole day was ruined. I had to redo the whole schedule. One thing I've learned throughout this journey that I'm on currently is focus on the positive. And like I said, be realistic. My day wasn't ruined. Instead of doing number 1, we're doing 3-1, right? No big deal. And that goes back to the Gary John Bishop book, Accept Everything, Expect Nothing. If I would have done that then, I'd have been a lot better off. Back on making the plan, balance your work and your life. And when I say work, that's not just work at a job. That's housework, yard work, whatever the case may be. Focus on making it flow with everything you do. So don't have your day be one-sided and have it be everything needs to be done right now. There's always tomorrow. You don't have to do that all today. Got a load of laundry, mow the lawn, whatever it is. It can wait till tomorrow. For me anyway, that just made me think of how I drive, right? I'm a slow driver. I don't go very fast. I get chewed out a lot. And I like to think, if I wanted to be there sooner, wherever I'm going, I should have left sooner. And that's kind of like, the yard, right? If the yard's out of control and today's the day that I'm getting it done, maybe I should have mowed yesterday. I don't know. That's just a thought that I'm thinking right now. I'm going to touch on meditation. And I spoke with Ryan in my last episode about meditation, and I always thought it was like some hippie thing, right? Well, then I started doing it, and I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty nice. Meditation can produce a deep state of relaxation and a tranquil mind. During meditation, you focus your attention and eliminate the stream of jumbled thoughts that may be crowding your mind and causing stress. Like for me, I started doing it in a dark room. I looked on YouTube for guided meditation. And what the guided meditations were, it's like a 3 to 5 minute thing where somebody's talking, telling you to breathe. And then there are other ways to meditate. I believe there is an app called Headspace. I downloaded it, but I haven't used it. There's places you can go to find sounds where it's like water or thunder, thunderstorm or crackling fire. And your meditation is yours, right? So the way that I do it is going to be different than the way you do it. The way that my guest Ryan last week did it may be different than this person. It's your time. There's no wrong way of doing it. And I see it as a way for me to just be stress-free. And I don't think about bills. I don't think about issues. I don't think about arguments. I think of nothing. And I just focus on emptiness in my head, if that makes sense. Another thing that I seen was make sure you eat. Everybody knows breakfast is an important meal. And after 8 hours or more of sleeping, without eating, your brain and your body need fuel. It's tempting to just jump into the day, but the 3 cups of coffee we drank isn't going to cut it. So make sure you have a good breakfast, and also eat frequently and drink lots of water throughout the day. If you get hungry, make sure you're eating. And water. Drink it up. I got 3-gallon jugs, and I've been drinking them, filling one up, throwing one in the fridge. I've got one by my bed all day long. I'm drinking water constantly. Make sure you are present in the day. Put your phone down, turn off the TV, focus on life that's happening. And I don't mean life as in Facebook. Focus on your family, your kids, your job. Be there and not on the phone or in the TV. If you can actually do that, look around, talk to people. The real life experiences and the connections that you'll make are better than any of those Instagram pictures you're going to heart today. Does that make sense? And throughout the day, after you do all these steps and all these little things, I don't want to call them steps. They're not steps. After you do all these things that can help you be more prepared for the day, the last thing is take a break. If you need a break, take it. Take 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you need. Just take your time. Relax and refocus. Grab a bottle of water like we talked about a couple minutes ago. Step outside, breathe in the fresh air, calm yourself or relax, and then dive back into it. I know we just went over them, but sleep. Make a plan. Consider the big and the small picture. Focus on the positive. Be realistic. Balance your work and your life. Meditate. Eat and drink what you need. Be present. And if you need it, take a break. So that is it for this episode. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed any of it, please leave me a rating and a review on Apple Podcast. Also, if you could share this podcast, this episode, or the podcast as a whole, send somebody my website. I would appreciate it so much. It would mean the world to me. Speaking of my website, don't forget to check that out. It is www.lukelosespodcast.com. Or you can call the loser line 323-920-LUKE or 5853. Call that number. Send me tips, topic ideas, concerns, whatever's on your mind. The music that we're listening to right now is by Jake Simmons and the Little Ghosts. If you like this song, you will love the rest. Check them out. I will link all their locations in the description of this episode. So that is that. As always, stay positive, do the work, trust the process, and I will see you next week.